Hello, I'm Nicole Watson. I'm a fishery biologist at the Lake Superior Biological Station. Today I'll give updates on our 2024 nearshore and offshore prey fish surveys. I would like to first acknowledge that this work was done by a group of very hardworking individuals at the biological station and includes both vessel and biological crew. Today we will start with a discussion of our progress on the Great Lakes Fishery Commission Memoranda of Agreements, then on to water temperatures, followed by a summarization of the nearshore and offshore surveys, and larval and yearling carrageenans. We did have a higher than normal catch of alewife in 2024, so Corey asked that we explored if this should be of concern to fisheries managers, and then I'll close with a summary. The Great Lakes Science Center continues to make progress on the Lake Superior MOA priorities identified by this lake committee. Due to vessel crew staffing shortages, we had to borrow some sailors for half of the 2024 field season. Still, we completed both the spring nearshore and July offshore bottom trawl surveys, and our annual report is now available on the GLFC website. One activity that is incomplete is the maintenance and application of an ecosystem model that we first published in 2021. To address this, we helped prepare a proposal led by Brandon Garrig and Tom Rabick, which was submitted to the Minnesota and Wisconsin Sea Grant that we hope will move forward. Later in the program, Dan will update this committee on what we've learned so far from the High-Tech Acoustic Initiative. The Lake Committee asked for a publication on Buffalo Reef, but that work has been led by Hammond Bay, so it's out of our purview. Surface waters in 2024 were some of the warmest on record, with June temperatures being the 9th warmest and July the 6th warmest since 1982. The greatest degree of warming was in July, with the 2024 mean temperature being 7 degrees Celsius higher than prior to 1998. This figure shows mean daily surface water temperatures for Lake Superior since late 1981. I've placed a horizontal dash line to distinguish the 1998 temperature regime change, and black vertical dash lines have been placed to distinguish the months of June and July. You can see that in the current temperature regime, not only is the water reaching a higher temperature, the warming trend also begins earlier and lasts longer. Warm temperatures during 2024 may have contributed to low survival of larval carrageenans and may have pushed some age 1 fish, such as lake whitefish, outside of normal habitats in search of cooler waters. But this is not a presentation focused on water temperatures, so we'll keep it relatively simple and acknowledge that it is possible that these warmer waters may have influenced fish distributions, which would alter their availability to our bottom trawl gear at our fixed survey stations and depths. The 2024 nearshore biomass estimate of 3.7 kilograms per hectare was at the period of record average, with the highest biomass in the southwestern region of Lake Superior. 76%, or 55 of the 72 stations sampled, were below the period of record average, with many stations near zero. Nearshore biomass has typically been dominated by the carrageenans common to this habitat, bloater shown here in yellow, cisco in orange, lake whitefish in magenta, rainbow smelt in blue, and other species shown in black. In contrast to the high biomass we observed in 2023 from the high survival of the 2022 Cisco year classes, the 2024 biomass estimates were relatively low. You may have been expecting higher biomass as seen in the mid-80s and mid-90s. The difference between the 2024 and the high continuous biomass estimates from this time period from 85 to 95 was due to several strong Cisco year classes in a row, contributing large numbers of age 1 fish to these estimates, as was seen in 2023. In 2024, those Cisco have likely migrated to pelagic waters where they are not vulnerable to our bottom trawl. In the absence of a strong Cisco year class, the biomass estimates from this survey are largely influenced by lake whitefish. The low biomass estimates in 2024 may be attributed to warmer water temperatures causing the fish, predominantly these lake whitefish, into regions outside of our fixed bottom trawl stations and perhaps into deeper and cooler water. The late season 2024 Midwater Trawl Survey, performed in collaboration with the High-Tech Acoustics Research, provided record catches of the age 2 Cisco corresponding to the 2022 bumper year class. Dan will provide more information on this during his presentation. Locations with the highest biomass in the 2024 offshore survey were located east of the Keweenaw Peninsula and at depths near the lake-wide mean of 147 meters, as seen on this map here. The total lake-wide offshore mean biomass was 8.3 kilograms per hectare, which was the second highest since the survey began in 2011 and 23% higher than the long-term average of 6.4 kilograms per hectare. Note that the y-axis in this figure is 0 to 25, which is different than you've seen previously in the nearshore figure, in which the axis was 0 to 60 kilograms per hectare. 99% of the total number of individual fish and biomass were deepwater sculpin in the offshore survey, which was 3.8 kilograms per hectare. Kai were 1.2 kilogram per hectare, and Sisquet lake trout at 3.2 kilograms per hectare. This biomass was largely driven in total by that deepwater sculpin biomass, which was the highest since the survey began and 45% higher than the long-term average of 2 kilograms per hectare, which you can see depicted by the black horizontal bar. This increase in deepwater sculpin biomass could possibly be due to a release from predation pressure from Sisquet, which now may be preying on the large numbers of Cisco from the 2022 Cisco year class. A total of 5,177 larval Carrageenan individuals were collected from May through July of 2024. This was the third fewest collected in a whole lake survey since it began in 2014. The nearshore mean larval Carrageenan densities were low, with an estimated 176 fish per hectare in June, and offshore densities even lower at 7 fish per hectare in July. You can see in the figure on the right the correlation between warmer water temperatures, the values shown under each bar, and low larval survival. This is especially noticeable in July, with 2024 reaching a lake-wide mean of 14.8 degrees Celsius and near zero larval survival, a trend also seen in other years with warm temperatures, such as 2017, 2019, and 2023. The low 2024 larval Carrageenan density estimates were a stark contrast to those observed with the 2022 cohort, when survival through July was the highest for the period of record for this survey, with subsequent high survival to age 1. As you recall, the 2022 season was cooler, unlike 2023 and 2024, indicating the importance of water temperatures to Lake Superior Carrageenans. Historically, the number of age 1 fish per hectare has been used as a relative measure of year class strength and to predict future population sizes. The figure on the right depicts annual mean age 1 abundance estimates for bloater, Cisco, lake whitefish, and Kai, with the 2024 estimates outlined in red. Given the low catches of larvae during July of 2023, it was not surprising to us that abundance estimates of age 1 Ciscos would be low in 2024. Recruitment of the 2023 year classes were low for bloater, Cisco, and lake whitefish, ranging from 1 fish per hectare for bloater and lake whitefish to 5 for Cisco. Kai were the exception at 19 fish per hectare. Kai recruitment is based on a size cutoff of 110 millimeters in total length, based on LEPAC's 2017 size and growth study. Owing to slow growth of Kai, we think most of the fish classified as age 1s in 2024 based on size were actually slow-growing age 2s as shown in the photo. Aging of a subset of Kai collected from the annual offshore surveys will help clarify this question. In the past, recruitment for bloater, Cisco, and Kai has been synchronized, meaning high survival for one typically means high survival for the others and vice versa. Larval sampling in 2023 and age 1 data in 2024 for bloater and Cisco suggests survival of the 2023 year class was near zero. Given the larval sampling data for 2024, we are expecting a similar trend of near zero survival of the 2024 year class to age 1. In 2024, a total of 101 alewife were caught, with 98 of those being from a single location, Pancake Point near Whitefish Bay. In this figure, length-based ages have been estimated based on previous publication and are shown in each stacked bar. As you can see, alewife caught in 2024 were all estimated as age zeros, with total lengths of 70 to 120 millimeters. There was interest if this could be a temperature-driven trend, but it is unclear if alewife have been a beneficiary of warmer spring surface temperatures, as 2024 was driven by a high catch at a single location. However, Early season warming could be shifting their distribution such that we encounter them at our fixed survey stations. We have primarily caught alewife in the nearshore and rarely, if ever, in the offshore surveys. This map shows catches of alewife in the nearshore surveys from 1978 through 2024. The big catch in 2024 I mentioned at Pancake Point is shown on the east side of the lake near Whitefish Bay. Changes in alewife catch may be an important index to track as densities could abruptly change if habitat conditions in the open lake increase in favorability for alewife. To summarize everything, both 2023 and 2024 were warmer than average, and these temperatures were likely driving lower caragonine recruitment and larval fish survival. The 2024 nearshore mean biomass of 3.7 kilograms per hectare was at the period of record average, with the highest biomass in the southwestern region of Lake Superior. The total lake-wide offshore mean biomass was 8.3 kilograms per hectare, the second highest since the survey began in 2011, which is 23% higher than the long-term average of 6.4 kilograms per hectare, largely driven by deepwater sculpin. The larval caragonine collection in 2024 was the third lowest in a whole lake survey since it began in 2014, and we are expecting near zero recruitment of the 2024 year class, similar to the 2023 year class. Age 1 caragonine recruitment was low overall. Nearshore catches of age 2 ciscos were also low, which is not a surprise as these fish are now primarily pelagic. Catches of age 2 ciscos were higher during the midwater trawl survey, as described in Dan's presentation. It is unclear to us if alewife have been a beneficiary of warmer spring surface temperatures, as 2024 was driven by a high catch at a single location. Early season warming, however, may have shifted their distribution such that we encounter them at our fixed survey stations. If you have any questions on the material presented, please feel free to contact me at the email address listed on the slide. And I thank you for your attention.